Press the issue. I could have stopped him. I could have stopped him. It's me. It's me. Definitely my fault. Definitely my fault.
No, I'm gonna do me. I'm gonna do me regardless. I told him to leave his moms and, the people home, and he still broke them. It's crazy, man. It's gonna get bad. It's gonna get bad, man. But, it's all love.
Davis has once again sparked controversy by engaging in another heated back and forth with Lamont Roach on social media. Davis claimed that the fight was his to win and that Roach only emerged victorious because he allowed it. This bold statement has drawn backlash, not only from Roach himself, but also from countless fans and boxing professionals. Some experts...
I think you learn. I definitely could have... That was on me, too. That was on me for sure. Because I ain't pick it up when I supposed to pick it up. And I could have definitely did more. Definitely did more. He caught me with a good shot, but it was times that I sat in there with him and I'm like, damn, this guy like super slow. Well, not super slow, but he's slow. And I could have took advantage of the moments, but...
The general belief is that Lamont Roach won the fight, especially when factoring in the knockdown, and that he was only cheated because all the judges scored the 9th round in favor of Devon Davis. Many argue that Davis should have been disqualified or penalized if the judges had made the right call. However, with Davis's recent comment claiming that Roach only won because he allowed it, the debate has intensified. Some have even gone as far as...
I was boxing too much in the beginning, and when I felt like he was slow, it was just already late down the line type of thing.
Many believe that Roach Jr. and his team have a strong case for overturning the decision if they appeal. However, despite Roach pushing for the knockdown to be officially recognized, his pleas were ultimately denied. He expressed his frustration in a series of posts on X, starting with, "Y'all tweaking if y'all think Buddy was off or had a knee off night. That stuff is just different when you're in there with me. I told y'all from the start. Just because I feel like I won, y'all acting like I said he was easy work or something. The knockdown gives me a UD. He followed up by asserting, "I did take care of that in the ring. Eli, you're about to make me get on you with this bias. I know he's your..."
What you talking about? He like, "Now you gonna give it to you?" I said, "Oh, is that right?" So, that's how boxing work. It's sad to say, that's how boxing work. I'm not like totally upset. I figured with a superstar, you won't get too much on paper.
When someone pointed out that having the knockdown overturned would result in a split decision win rather than a unanimous decision. Over Davis, Roach Jr. fired back. "The guy who scored the fight for Tank gave him that round. If the knockdown counts as 10-8 my way, that's a 3-point swing, so I would have won that card too. Go back to your cave, casual." Roach Jr. is correct that overturning the knockdown would have secured him a unanimous decision rather than a split decision victory. However, he would likely have been satisfied with either outcome. The key takeaway from the Davis-Roach fight wasn't that Tank was exposed as a fraud.
Think about what happened in the 9th round. How frustrated are you that that wasn't counted as a knockdown?
Man.
That's not to say Tank doesn't deserve criticism for his performance. Many have pointed out that his habit of starting slow and being overly economical with his punches either caught up to him or nearly did, depending on how you view the result. His actions in the 9th round, such as taking a knee and assuming he could call a timeout as well as asking his corner to wipe grease from his eyes mid-fight, further fueled criticism. His expectation of special treatment from referee Willis and receiving it has also drawn heavy scrutiny. However, Roach deserves more credit than Davis deserves criticism. He took on an elite counterpuncher and out-countered him, consistently, responding to Davis's left hooks with precise right hands. He didn't fall for Tank's traps and feints, but instead remained patient.
Honestly, I thought I should have won without that being counted a knockdown. Look, I ain't the ref. I ain't really, like, if he had to wipe...
When Roach chose to trade punches, He did so just long enough to make Davis respect him before swiftly disengaging. He also demonstrated an incredible chin, while his defensive awareness, anticipation, and counterpunching minimized. The number of clean shots he absorbed, he still took a few solid hits to the jaw and remained standing to hear the judges' scores, something Tank's opponents rarely get to do. Many in the boxing world dismissed this fight as a pointless mismatch. However, sharper analysts recognized Roach as a legit...
The white shirt out his eye, but the rules do state if you voluntarily take a knee, then that's an automatic 8 count. But it is what it is. I wasn't relying on that. I was relying on what I was doing in there. I think I was taking control. I think I was landing more shots. I think I was landing more power.
The outcome serves as a lesson for superstars. They should take the biggest fights available when they can, because sometimes it's the so-called tune-up fight that ends up derailing them. Still, any damage to Davis's reputation can be quickly repaired. All he needs to do is secure an immediate rematch with Roach and come out victorious next time. At the post-fight press conference, Davis hinted at a bigger fight coming first, though he didn't specify against whom. Some speculated that it could be a showdown with Shakur Stevenson. But for the sake of argument, let's assume that's exactly...
But as soon as I heard that 114, I was just like, damn, all right, it's over with. So, yeah, man, it's just crazy. I ain't gonna lie. It's okay. We gonna run it back. It's okay. If that was kind of a knockdown, I would win a majority decision.
Yeah, Lamont, this is Matt from...
A fight like Tank versus Shakur, one that would be billed as a showdown to determine the best American boxer under 30, can't have one fighter coming in fresh while the other is coming off a bout that most people believe he should have lost. Davis needs the Roach rematch, even though winning it won't be easy, to maximize interest in potential matchups with Stevenson and other top-tier opponents. The sight of a draw on Davis's record isn't a major blow to his marketability, but the perception that he was second best in his most recent fight is. To move past that, he needs a new...
I don't know, did y'all see me in the ring tell him to keep counting? he started counting. I was like, why you stop? Like, keep counting. But I honestly don't know. I don't know. But
Davis versus Roach 2 needs to happen next, and it should take place in a location where Davis's Baltimore fans and Roach's DC supporters can come together to create the most electric atmosphere possible. It should also be held somewhere that ensures New York's Willis, who, despite usually being a solid referee, played a controversial role in the first fight, is not on the commission's shortlist. And that's where things stand with Tank. Davis. Once the sport's brightest rising star, seen as the next big thing after Floyd Mayweather.
The fight. Yeah, just didn't do enough work. I thought that Roach's game plan was
Davis entered the fight as a massive favorite, widely expected to secure his 29th career knockout by stopping Roach, who was making his lightweight debut in front of a pro-Davis crowd. However, Tank was unable to deliver the highlight reel finish fans have come to expect from the Baltimore native. Instead, Roach stood firm in the line of fire, absorbed Davis's power, and fired back with shots that stunned not only Davis, but also those in attendance. The notoriously patient Davis started slow, waiting for Roach to make a mistake he could exploit. But that moment never came. Roach remained disciplined, refusing to give Davis the openings he needed to counter or dictate the pace. Early on, Davis smiled and exchanged words with Roach. But as the fight progressed, he was forced to get serious, realizing that his opponent wouldn't fold under the bright lights. Interestingly, Roach Jr., now 29...
Scared nobody. It's all about the bread at the end of the day. In the perfect world, if I could have it, how I want to have it, thank God Lamont Roach made a name for 135 division because we needed somebody.
Okay.
Let's be real. So now we got a new person. Thank God. So now we got Lamont Roach. If I could have it my way...
Trying to bait, but Roach was just really patient. Roach was patient, bro. He was tight. He was patient. And he wasn't really rushing in. And every now and then he'll make a mistake. He'll probably lunge a little bit or reach with the right hand. Yeah. And then he got countered. You know what I'm saying? But he didn't give a whole lot of, and it made me really think like.
Their careers took different paths once they turned pro, with Davis rising to become one of boxing's biggest stars, while Roach became known as a solid fighter who, in his only other world championship opportunity, lost to Jamel, herring for the WBO super featherweight title in 2019. Davis's ascent to stardom was capped by his knockout win over Ryan Garcia in 2023, where he solidified his claim as the face of boxing. However, he nearly let that title slip away in an underwhelming performance against Roach. Their shared history in the amateurs may have given Davis a false sense of confidence heading into this fight. But Roach was well prepared for everything Tank had to offer, including his renowned knockout power. By the middle rounds, Davis's usual smile faded as he realized the knockout he had anticipated wouldn't come easily. The champion began to open up, trying to create opportunities, but Roach stood his ground, landing counters and combinations. Davis shifted his focus almost exclusively to the body, repeatedly banging away while Roach maintained his forward momentum, pushing Davis back undeterred. Roach was quick to land counters whenever Davis's assault stalled. In round 8, Roach stunned Davis with a counter right hand, though Davis was never in real danger. Still, the counterpunching made it clear that Davis couldn't afford to be reckless. Realizing the fight could be slipping away, Davis pressed the action in. The championship rounds. Although he landed some big power shots, he never truly hurt Roach. However, his increased Davis's performance has left some boxing fans questioning whether he may no longer be at the peak of his powers. Former two-weight world champion Paulie Malignaggi has now shared his thoughts ahead of the proposed rematch. Malignaggi, who knows a thing or two about rematches after defeating both Juan Diaz and Lovemore Ndu in their second encounters, told ProBox TV that he believes there is a mental issue with Tank. Malignaggi revealed that there has been talk behind the...
It was a great event. Great event. It was a great fight. They put in a fantastic performance. Both of them did, for real. Both of them really did put in a fantastic performance. It was a great fight, you know. All that good stuff. You know, it was a draw. At the end of the day, people are unsatisfied. You know, I feel like,
There's a rumor circulating behind the scenes that Davis has a lot of front-runner tendencies, that when pushed, he might break and fold. This idea has been quietly discussed, especially among those familiar with him, including fighters from the D.C. area like Lamont Roach, who grew up around Davis and fought him in the amateurs. As the fight progresses, it becomes apparent that this hidden aspect of Davis's mentality might be coming to light. Given the relatively limited opposition Davis has faced in his career, Roach
BBC title and defend against him. So I don't know what that's going to bring us. But let's move on to the main event. Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach. Certainly, I think the draw controversial, but I think Lamont Roach wins the night. I think his performance wins the night. Here's the thing, though. Lamont Roach was always a solid fighter, solid fundamental, and I'm going to reiterate what I said before. Solid fundamental fighter. Nothing that wows you, though. No crazy speed, no crazy...
Davis's fouling and the interpretation that he might have tried to bite at one point didn't seem all that clear to me. But the knee, incident, and other moments pointed to some signs of mental fragility. While Davis is physically talented, there's an argument that he's mentally weak. The way to deal with a front-runner like him is to drag him into the late rounds where he can start to unravel. Fellow lightweight world champion Kesson Davis also shared his thoughts on how the Tank versus Roach fight unfolded.
Fundamental fighter who's been well-schooled, well-taught, and well-balanced. And that's who he was tonight. His sense of positioning allowed him to catch and shoot in some spots. He had a mentally strong game plan in terms of he was trying to hold ground a lot and sort of back up Gervonta Davis. Davis... Still, when you really think about it, he ends up fighting a Lamont Roach, who's a 130-pound champion, been a perennial contender for about 10 years, finally won a world title. You bring him up in weight.
I don't think he got exposed. I just think Lamont was better than everyone expected him to be. Lamont can really fight. I said I thought Tank would knock him out, but he proved me wrong. Lamont is better than we made him out to be, but I don't think Tank got exposed or anything like that. In light of Davis's underwhelming performance against Roach, unbeaten world champion Kesan Davis has now spoken out, claiming he can be the first fighter to defeat Tank, should he get the opportunity. Speaking on the Come and Talk to Me podcast, the WBO lightweight champion shared his unwavering...
The lightweights, tough lightweights that are out there, you go outside the weight class to defend the title and get a smaller guy, which is something that he'd done already before with Garcia a couple of years back. The guy he fought before Ryan Garcia. I don't know, man. You know, I can't keep reiterating how disappointing Gervonta Davis has been as far as the resume is concerned.